What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Blackberry Podcast. This is Three the Hard Way. I got my guys in the building with me. My guy Devin to the right of me, Chef West at the bottom of the map as usual. Today we're gonna recap this Texans, not recap the Texans game. We're gonna preview the Texans game, and then we're just gonna recap a little bit more of that Titans game and completely turn the page after that and move on. Talk about some injuries, talk about some Bears news from the previous week, all that and a lot more right after this.
You seem to focus on what they didn't have. I focused on what they. No, you said 4 was not enough. So you focused on what they did not have.
Okay, let's stop with the antics and let's talk about football now. Okay.
And then on top of that, I'm gonna tell y'all who we gonna take and why we gonna take. All right. We're taking a wide receiver, fellas. Let me tell you about Mr. Rome Adumze.
And right out the gate, my boy Bear Truth on time today, man. Hey. Hope you're having a good Saturday afternoon. Fellas, we know what happened last week. Like I said, we're going to touch on it, and then we're going to completely, wash that game away because it was kind of ugly, but it was good at the same time. Like I was telling you, Wes, before we jumped in here, I feel like we was a little harsh on the team, rightfully so, because of the hype, the build up. Nobody expected the offense to play that way. But after having a week to sit on it and Shane Waldron speaking to the media, Caleb and Matt Eberflus also speaking, we got a little bit more context on why things went the way they did. One of the things I wanted to touch on right out the gate, because I want to focus on Shane Waldron for me specifically. I feel like we didn't. Wes, you was trying to go at him a little bit, but I feel like overall we didn't really get on Shane as much as we should have. I heard a stat, and I want y'all fellas see what y'all think about this. Y'all probably heard it too. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift. I mean, if you want to add Cole Kmet in there, you can. They were on the field together for 10 snaps the entire game last week. 10 snaps. And like I said, I feel like Wes, you was on him last week. You was on Shane Waldron. But I feel like we kind of let him off the hook. That is crazy. You don't bring those and look, Travis, it was weird because Travis Homer was getting some tick. Everett, you mentioned it last week, Wes. Everett played way more than you would have liked to. And I know those are his guys. So I don't know. It's a little weird that was 10 snaps. And that's your new core. That's the Bears fans. We've been excited to see them dudes on the field together all offseason. We get to the first game, your big guys play 10 snaps. Thoughts on that?
I mean, if you want to go, Dev, I'll go. Like I said, I started off last week with that. Personnel, I didn't like it. I told you, if anything, and I could care less what Caleb did, the offense did overall. I just saw that was baffling. Like I said, I went into the thesaurus last week and brought up words that I ain't used in 20 years. And I got it on here on my cue card right here under Shane Waldron. If it ain't broke, man, don't fix it.
Right.
What are you doing? Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. We needed you to take those guys that at the end of the day, Cole Kmet is tight end number 1.
Yes.
That's tight end number 1. How come he got less snaps than Everett? And I get it. That's your dude. You're more familiar with him. He probably maybe fit what you were doing in San Diego, whatever. You ain't in San Diego. Different sea, different weather, different colors, different team, different organization, man. Like, we brought you in here to maximize those guys. And I mean, I could get into it. I got some most stats, period. I mean,
talk to
you
us.
said it was in there for 10 plays. We only had 53 total. That's 50 out of 53. I mean, 43 plays that they all went together on that. It's crazy. Time of possession, 25 minutes. 25 minutes time of possession total. That's crazy.
And when you talk about time of possession, That's a key point I'm gonna hit on once we move on to the Texans because you're gonna have.
I saw theirs. I got theirs too. I got that in that preview too. We can talk, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to just get into that right there, I mean, we didn't even do what we did last year on offense. If you ask me, we was worse than then, with less. So how you do less with more? Like, that's just crazy to me. And I just, like I said, I'm happy he got up there and he took some on the nose, on the cheek.
He did. He did.
He did. He went up there. He ate crow a little bit. I don't know, man. I think he should have said, I just sucked. That's what he should have said. I sucked. I forgot what I was doing. I forgot who I had. And I will, definitely will not happen next week. So.
I mean, that's how I interpreted what he said. But basically, like, I mean, I'm with you, Wes. Like, I didn't like the game plan at all. It didn't make sense. I didn't like the concept of, I mean, like, I understand, like, the reason that you might not have them all in there for all, like, 50 whatever plays that you had was because, okay, DJ sat out a couple because he'd gotten a little roughed up at the end of one play and Keenan wasn't 100% and stuff like that. But, like, only 10 plays, like, something's wrong.
Crazy.
Like, it's one thing if it's down to, like, okay, so maybe they play 35 together and they didn't play the whole game together, but, like, 35 would at least tell us that you know what you're doing. You want to get those wide receivers. You want to give Caleb all the weapons that we have for him. Like, if you take them out, take the weapons out, it's like, well, then what are you really giving him? The only way that our offense excels is because of those weapons. We know It's not winning in the trenches. We already know that part. But if you at least have the weapons for him to get the ball out too quickly, then maybe we can actually get something start going. And honestly, if you get the ball out quickly, the offensive line knows if they know they only have to, like, hold for 2-3 seconds, then they're probably going to be able to just kind of, like, okay, get up and hold and stop. If you kind of are unsure, like, okay, maybe I might have to hold for 5-6 seconds while he scrambles around, then it's kind of, like, more exhausting and it's kind of harder for you to kind of, like, do that for 5-6 seconds. Like, if you know that he's going to get that ball out quickly to one of the open receivers or whatever, then honestly, you know, okay, I just got to fight for 3 seconds. Mentality wise, it probably is a lot better for them to know that he's going to get the ball out quickly too. So I don't know, probably helps everybody if you have more options to throw to.
I probably should have said this at the top of the show. I forgot. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. Catch us on YouTube. We on Twitter. We are also on Facebook. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. One word, no spaces. Look, there was a lot of shit going on, and I kind of, after seeing it and watching the all 22 and just listening to the interviews and everything, I know we didn't really even get to the Caleb. We didn't even get to grade Caleb last week, but Caleb, and this is just my thoughts. I'm not giving him a pass, but I'm a little less hard on him based on what I saw, because I saw Jeffrey Simmons and fucking Tavondre Sweat, which, Wes, we spoke about Sweat
during the draft process.
During the draft process.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was a load.
One of the three of us had him on our mock draft that we did on air. One of us did. I can't remember who, but I think one of us. I do think one of us had him.
Wes, Wes, you might have had him.
I don't know. I think I put him in a note. I didn't have him. I went for Trice, but we had talked about him. Remember when we split up and we did an overview of all the positions we thought. So when we did offensive line, we did defensive lineman we could get, and we went deep before we parted and picked our groups. But he was a part of the ones who was looking deep down. When we picked up Torrey Taylor and that 4th and 5th round area, we thought he was going to fall down there somewhere. He was in there. He was definitely talked about.
And rightfully so. You seen what he
Yeah,
did. He was
yeah.
giving Tevin Jenkins, and I know I didn't do a deep dive into Tevin Jenkins, but he was giving him that work just as much as Coleman Shelton was getting that work. As a quarterback, especially a rookie quarterback, and me personally, this is what I feared. I didn't care. I just looked around the league. You know, I saw Jared Goff, average quarterback, stout O line. And Amon Ra's a dog, Laporte is a dog, but who else is there? You know what I mean? But guess what? He throwing for 4,000 yards. Jalen Hurts, I don't know what y'all think about Jalen Hurts, but I think he's average at best. But guess what? He got a stout offensive line. AJ Brown's a dog. Devontae Smith is a dog too. So, but they're excelling without this massive trio of wide receivers. I just didn't want, because I know how it was with Mitch, even Jay Cutler. I know how it was back then too. The O line, the O line, the O line, the O line. I wanted to completely take that excuse out of the picture. And look, y'all know I didn't like Braxton Jones, but he was good. Braxton was good. Darnell was good. As a rookie
We were
quarterback,
holding our own against the edges.
yes.
It's
And
that interior that we were struggling.
And as a rookie quarterback, you do not want pressure in your face. Straight up. That's why we talk about but that's why we talk about the 3 technique so much in our scheme. You want Javon Dexter to dent that pocket. That's the quickest path to the quarterback, straight up the middle. You know what I mean? Up that A gap. There was a lot of A gap pressure. And from seeing what I saw on tape, a lot of people was dogging Caleb. I don't know how much of y'all seen it on social media. They was dogging him. I'm giving them a little bit of leeway from what I saw. What y'all thinking about Caleb's performance and basically what was going on around him?
I'm kind of the same way. Like, yeah, it was his first game. He did not perform well in a large way, but he protected the football.
Yes.
He only took 2 sacks, and one of them wasn't on him. The other one was pretty bad, and that was kind of on him. But, like, or at least how bad it was on him. That big sack that he took for like 20 plus yards or whatever, like that one, it was only as bad as it was because of him. Like him trying to kind of get out of it kind of gave him all that minus yardage. But honestly, like the more I was watching stuff, and it's like, okay, I need to accept that. Yes, I bought into the hype in the fact that like I was wanting him to come out here and be amazing, but he is still a rookie quarterback.
Yes.
Like, and we kept trying to say that whole CJ Stroud comparison. We were hoping he had that type of a year. Very few people have had that type of year, their rookie year. So I was like, okay, if he can just kind of, if game 1 was the worst that we'll see from him, then I think he'll have a really great career. Like that, it wasn't good, but he got the win. Like,
yes.
At the end of the day, like it goes in the win column at the end of the season when we're just looking back at our win. We're not going to be talking about, okay, well that win doesn't count because Caleb didn't do very well. No, we're gonna count that win just like we do any other wins we get this year. So I'm cutting him a little bit of slack. He needs to, and the fact that he noticed what he didn't do well. Like to me, that the accountability is huge for me, because if you can't admit when you've done something wrong, then you're going to do it again. Yep. Like if you can't admit that something you did was wrong, then you don't know what you need to improve upon.
Yep.
And he walked right out there in his press conference saying, wasn't a very good game by me. Definitely things that I wish I could have taken back and stuff like that. And I can't put it all on him. Like he should have had a touchdown pass last week. That ball right through Keenan Allen's hands. That one was it was rough watching, because he is your veteran receiver who you should be able to just kind of like throw the ball right there, and if it's in your hands, you should catch it. But he didn't go out there and he didn't blame everybody else for his problems. I'm surprised he didn't throw Shane Waldron under the bus, even though we could all see that there were issues there. Like he took accountability for what he needed to. And then I really liked that I saw that Shane did the same thing later on in the week. After looking at some of the tape, he kind of realized, okay, yeah, my bad. That's on me. We went in with a different mindset and it didn't work out for us. And saying that he's going to move on to the next game and prepare for that one and figure out how he needs to prepare differently. I liked that aspect, but
that's all you could do is move on to the next game.
We'll see how it works out for us in this next game. It's going to be a tough one.
What's what you thinking? You after seeing everything and hearing everything, what do you give Caleb a little leeway on that performance, or you still firm like, hey, you got to be better? Obviously, he has to be better, but you get what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm not putting all the blame on. Like I said last week, and I said, not too long ago, is I'm not finna before I even bring Caleb up to the front and center and tell him what he did and didn't do wrong. I gotta go focus on what I think was the main issue with this offense, which starts with Shane Waldron and his personnel concepts and all that kind of stuff and what he put out there, because that's not even what you put out there in the preseason, if you ask me. But yeah, Caleb looked. I mean, we were just talking about Caleb. He looked rushed. He looked nervous. I'm not even gonna put that on him. Like I said, the offense itself wasn't up to par for even a decent quarterback for the most part. I ain't gonna say no elite quarterback, but they would have looked rushed. He was nervous. He's a rookie. Like I said, his footwork was. We talked about that even in the preseason. Some of those leaning passes that he was doing, like what was he doing? Why was he the jump passes? Just stand on your back foot, man, and deliver the ball. I got that on my notes right here. His footwork, his accuracy, and that leads into trusting your teammates. Stop trying to do it for them. You can't catch the ball for them. You can't make them reach their arms out. You just got to put the ball where it needs to be. I think towards the second half of it, he was throwing like these little darts that he was trying to like fit right in to make it easier for them to catch. I don't know. It was like he was just trying to put it in places where, he was trying to make it a better catching angle for them instead of, hey, look, this is where you're supposed to be, and I threw it where you're supposed to be, and you didn't get that. And trust your teammates. I get it. You're going to have to favorite the guys you've been training with, the ones, the DJs, the Keenans, the Rome, but Shane Waldron didn't put them out there. Cole Kmet, nope. He didn't put them out there. So you got to figure out and trust and get over to the sideline. You got to be talking to Everett. Like, what did I do wrong? What should you done better? Just everybody, DeAndre Carter. Hey, look, we down Rome. That's the rest of this third quarter and fourth quarter. Look like you're gonna be out there. That's why I need you to be on these routes, that routes. Take a little bit of time when you getting out there. And also, dude, take the green. Get up the field 2 or 3 yards, 4 yards, and slide, man. I get it. You don't want to have that Justin Fields tag of being a runner, but dude, you pump faking and squirreling and spinning from sideline to sideline where you could just go up 4 yard slide and be, 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 11, or you know what I mean? Like third down conversions. I mean, we were 2 for 13, dude. And a bunch of those third down, he could have just ran 5 yards, made it to what 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 actually made sense, because I think our 4th downs was even terrible. I didn't even write it down. I just feel like I saw it. And it's like they know you don't want to run. You said to the world, I like passing more than I like running. You said that before you even got drafted, and you showed it, and everybody got it. By the third quarter, like, he's not going to go upfield. I mean, he's not going to go upfield. He's going to try to scramble and throw his receivers open, get them time to do some option routes and get and find some open spaces. But sometimes you got to make those linebackers and those corners come up, because you're going to take off for the first down. And if you don't do that, I'm just saying. Look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen, he couldn't get the ball downfield. He couldn't get nobody open. And I think he did a Jordan-style jump man over a person for a touchdown. Like, he said, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to, because he don't got the receivers that he used to have, and it wasn't really working. So, I mean, like I said, you got to play the game that's in front of you. That's what I would have to say about Caleb.
But you do got to be a little bit more careful on the plays that you made. I mean, I watched when Tua went down this week, and like when I was watching that, it just kind of brought back like my nightmares back from like last year when I would watch Justin take off and he'd get these late hits and stuff like that. Like now this one wasn't the late hit, but like it brought back to how I always felt when I would see him get that late hit. And you'd be sitting there hoping that he just gets back up. And like you have to find that fine line, especially with him being a rookie. You want Caleb to be able to understand, like, okay, it's safe enough for me to take off for 5 yards, but I do have to get down. I can't push it for 6 or 7 because there's that guy hanging back. And if I take off, he's coming for me. And you don't want to risk injuries like that because they're already talking about possibly to his retirement because of it. So you never want to put your QB in that situation.
That's 3 or 4 years of Tua getting knocked down and doing the same
That's
thing.
true.
I'm just talking about in a certain game. Like that's not the game plan. Justin Fields, that was his game plan. Like he looked once, run twice. I'm just saying, like, you know, to keep the drive going. Because like I said, I looked at that time of possession. I'll talk about it more when we talk about next week's game, but you gotta extend drives. You know, even if it's 2 yards or something, just the fact that you running for 2. I didn't say go for the 7 or 9 or get the first down. But if you go for that 2 or 3, you're gonna have those linebackers and those defenses like, man, if we give him enough green, he's gonna start be running for first downs and sliding for 7 or 8 yards, was putting us in a scenario where we're on 3rd and short instead of 3rd and long.
And think about it this way too, that like if he starts running for a few yards here and there, they might have to relax their coverage. And then next time he doesn't have to run because there's a wide open receiver right there. He can just throw the ball instead.
That's all I'm assuming that you should be trying to do. And just, you know, variety. That's all I'm saying. Give them something to think about. That's it. That's all I was saying. Because I saw a couple of them like, take off. Go get 3. You did the slip and slide. We saw you. We saw you on Hard Knocks. You were slipping and sliding, man.
There was a couple instances where he did run, get a first down, and he slid.
He did.
Yeah.
He worked the dude in that
I
game.
think my one of my parents, I can't remember which one, looked at me and they're like, "Wow, a Bears quarterback that slides. I haven't seen that for a while." And I'm like, well, then you must not have been watching the Hard Knocks because they had a drill where they brought in a slip and slide to practice their slides.
Yeah, definitely. Justin slid. The sick part about Justin didn't get not one roughing, not one unnecessary roughness call all season, which is crazy for a quarterback that runs that much. Justin was sliding, but he did that like baseball slide. You know, he would slide, but his upper half was kind of still pointing up. His butt was on the ground, but his torso was still up. So he still get, you know, hit late and they weren't calling it or whatever. But no, I mean, Caleb definitely, I mean, I don't know. He could have ran a few times. Like I said, I only seen once where he actually ran or whatever. But y'all feel like he was nervous? Y'all feel like nervous? Like, because I know he said it all the time. I don't get nervous. He said it multiple times. I think he was nervous out there.
I would say he was nervous. I would say he got nervous. I don't think when he came to the game he was nervous.
Okay.
But as he starts seeing stuff, and like I said, you start seeing those big dudes start getting real close to you, and you think you're finna run away, you turn around and they own you. You like, man, these dudes is fast, you know, like
or you start see them completely push over Coleman Shelton, and you're like, oh,
right. Oh, right. You know what I mean? You start seeing certain stuff, and like they call it the speed of the game, the strength of the NFL game. You kind of get in awe of, okay, man, this is going to be tough, you know? And I think he just started to get a little nervous, and like I said, you saw him not really sitting on that back foot when he was throwing a lot of passes. You saw him leaning forward with a lot of his throws. Like, you know, we've seen that like I said, that one pass in the preseason where he kind of like was finna get sacked or something, but he kind of like leaned forward and still threw the ball, kind of what Will Levis was doing. You know, the kind of Will Levis towards the end, which is dangerous. It's like, hey, look, man, you could just step up and take the 2. You can just step in, like, you know, just try to run through that gap and just get 2 or 3, slide in there. You don't have to actually get sacked. And you don't have to jump pass. You don't have to throw the ball behind your back. You don't have to shuffle pass. You're not doing that. Just just stay true to the position, man. Throw the ball where it needs to go, and work on the next down.
There
Um,
there was something I meant to bring up last week, but I kind of forgot about with everything that was going on. But how'd you guys feel about all those batted down passes at the line?
That's what. So I was this whole time while y'all was going, I was thinking. I'm like, I had a question that I was gonna ask him, and I totally forgot about it. That's
That
look.
that I mean, and I thought about it like after the show was over, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, dang, I meant to bring it up because that was upsetting me a lot. And there'd been questions of Caleb's height being a factor for a while, and I'm wondering, do you guys think his height was a factor with them getting batted down, or do you potentially think that it was just a matter of the defensive line? He was trying to throw darts instead of trying to get over the defensive line.
I would put that on him being a rookie. He's
So-
think like I said, he forgetting the athletic, like I said, the size and athleticism of NFL players. I think that's what I don't think his height matters that much.
Let me just what's up, Brandon? Appreciate you jumping in the chat with us. Look, put y'all thoughts in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Any question you see come up, put an answer in the chat. We'll bring it up and we'll discuss your answer just as well as our answers. What's up, Ron? Appreciate you jumping in the chat as well. We know we've been seeing you for the last couple weeks, so appreciate you sticking with us and tuning in every week. Wes, I just want to get that out there. Keep going with your assessment on the batted passes. I just want to get them shout outs in there.
Oh yeah, shout out to my cousin Brandon finally doing it. I call him every week like I ain't see you in the chats. He told me I forgot. But it's good to see you, cousin. Him, my little cousin in here with the yo. But no, I wouldn't say that has nothing to do with his height. I think that's more of just him being a rookie. It was something that we all talked about doing preseason and training camp. Like he getting his balls batted down because that's just the size and the speed and athleticism of some of them. Because a lot of his batted downs really, really, truly over the line. It was some of the like you're saying, the darts to the side that you got to understand that this dude looks small because he's rushing, but when he put his legs and his arms and he actually gets big, that's a big area to get the ball around and stuff like that. And that's just something that he's gonna have to learn. That's just something that comes with reps. Shane Walton talked about that. He just needs those reps and understanding and seeing the size of those guys. I don't think it's a major issue, but it is something that I would love to keep a pin in every week to see how he progresses with it, how many bat downs he had from week 1 to week 7, if it's equal or is it a drastic change in him? Is he how is he alleviating those kind of things too? And just like I said, we're gonna critique him every week and see how he grows and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, it's hard for me to kind of like pinpoint what Caleb is doing wrong as a quarterback, as a rookie, or just because the situation that he got put in, because that was unbelievable. Like I said, it's just hard to critique him with what he was put out there with, and just the whole offense in itself. So
in the question about the batted balls, look, it came up in training camp. It definitely came up, and I mentioned it on one of the episodes, and we discussed it for a split second or whatever. But the Bears were putting out like big ass, I don't know if they were mannequins or just big ass signs or whatever. They were putting them out there so he can try, because it was happening a lot in training camp, and they were trying to get him used to it, trying to get him used to throwing around these big dudes and in the windows and everything like that. So it was an issue. I'm not gonna say it's a non-issue. I don't know if because what is he, 6 feet, 6'1"? I don't know if I don't know if it's his height, because, and I heard this came up on when Alex Brown and Lance Briggs were speaking on it. He's been 6'1" his whole life, or at least his entire college career. So you know what I mean? I don't know if that is.
I love that response to it. Like it's been who he is. He's played at 6'1" before. He'll play at 6'1" now.
For the rest of his career, he'll play at that.
Right.
So I mean, but look, I don't. Do we wish he was 6'5", 6'6"? Yes, it would be a lot better if he was 6'5", 6'4", or whatever Justin was. Justin was a massive dude. He wasn't little at all. Yes, it helped him a lot. But guess what? There's quarterbacks that have been successful in this league at a shorter height. Drew Brees being one of them, Russell Wilson being another. I think Caleb just got to get used to it. I mean, he's, and I could be completely wrong about this. He's used to, in college, he's used to throwing that ball outside of the pocket. You're not throwing over them. You know what I mean? You making plays.
Yeah.
You don't have to look over dudes in the NFL. You have to throw it from the pocket majority of the time. You know what I mean? So me personally, I do think it's an issue. I think it was batted 3 or 4 times. Those could have easily been interceptions. He got lucky. The dude got lucky.
The one that bounced off of the guy's like helmet or something. That Rome jumped up there and caught. I was sitting there like, I don't even know what happened this whole play, because then Rome caught it. He came down, took like a step and a half, and then lost the ball. And then who was it? Like Tevin Jenkins out there running over and diving on. I'm sitting there like, you got to give that guy some credit too. That like, yeah, he was getting pushed around in the offensive line, but he jumped on that ball as soon as it came out.
You talking Tevin?
Yeah, like
hell yeah.
He was getting thrown around, but like he was following that play. Like he was like not giving up on it. He jumped on that ball as soon as it came out from Rome. So, I mean, that was a crazy play.
Yeah, no, he got to get used to it. The more he plays, the more he sees it. It's not like it's going to keep I mean, it's going to happen because it happened with Justin or whatever. But I think he'll get a better feel for his windows, his throwing lanes and stuff like that, and how he got to twist his arm to throw the ball on certain pass. So I think he'll get used to it, but it is an issue right now because those shits all could have been picks for sure.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to when I was saying, trusting your teammate, putting the ball where it's supposed to go. I think, like I said, a lot of times he was trying to get the ball where, it'll be better, easier for the receiver or whoever he was throwing to, maybe it was a running back, whatever, where they could get to it. But it's like, that's not the lane that you need to be throwing the ball. You need to be throwing it a look, maybe look to the left, look to the right, look higher, look low, whatever you need to be doing to get it to them. And if they not going to be in the right spot, hey, you can sit on silent. You're supposed to be right here. You talk about that because I have to throw the ball like this to get it to you, bro. Right. Like I can't just hit you.
At least in your rookie year, like when you're a rookie, throw the ball where you're supposed to throw it, and then later on in your career, if you want to become like kind of transition into being that quarterback who he makes all his wide receivers look good because he throws the ball right where they're the only one that can catch it, then fine, do that. But your rookie year, get used to the game. Just throw the ball where it needs to go. Like, don't do all the extra stuff. Like, play your game and trust, like you say, Wes, trust your teammates. Yeah. Trust them to, we put a lot of offensive weapons around you. Trust them to catch the ball. It doesn't always work, as we already saw, but trust in them to do their job.
Is a Doomsday gonna play tomorrow? Well, look, the question, we're about to turn the page to the Texans. I do got one more question for y'all boys, unless y'all have any more points y'all want to touch on from the previous week, from week 1. The right guard rotation. We spoke on it briefly, but I didn't even know. Like it was because the broadcast didn't mention it. They weren't making note of it, but Nate Davis and Ryan Bates were rotating that entire game. And then I think towards the end, they just stuck with Ryan Bates or whatever. But what are y'all thoughts on that right guard rotation? I mean, Nate Davis, do you think we should just say screw the Nate Davis thing and just let Ryan? Well, obviously we're gonna talk about the injury report. Ryan Bates ain't so, but
I mean,
but just that game, the whole right guard rotation. I'll give my opinion. I hated it. I think it was stupid. I think you need your starting 5. I have not ever in any team I played on, and most teams I've watched for the Bears. Obviously, it's going to happen. Sometimes injuries or whatever.
Injuries are one thing, but just rotating just to figure out which ones. But you shouldn't be doing that in a game. Like to me, you don't rotate your guards around during the middle of the game. continuity is a huge thing.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
not just for your O line, but for Caleb. Like continuity for
Caleb.
both of them. Like, well, but also for like example, like there were definite times out there that our O line like we hike the ball and they'd be out there like looking lost because they're expecting to guard one person and they're not there. And it's like, so then they turn to help guard somebody else, like
Yes.
to kind of like double team. And it's like, you should have like gone to the other side because they already got that like situated and held up. But like to me, it just seemed like there were times that they didn't even know who was out there. Like if you're rotating in and out, like the right guard there, it's like you need a like. Should the center be looking over to see who's next to him?
Exactly.
When, like that,
He's already struggling himself.
crazy.
He can't be worried about who's next to him and how Nate Davis likes to set his feet and snatch back into his sets, or you know how Ryan Bates likes to set his feet. He shouldn't be having to worry about that when you got Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat in front of you.
Exactly. I mean that's just another thing in your head that you're trying to think of, and you need to be completely focused on what's in front of you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I want to say it was in the second half, maybe mid third quarter. So the fact that I think it was Ryan Bates, or I think it was one of the right guards. They were looking back at Caleb and tapping the center to let him know when to snap the ball, because he couldn't look down between his leg and snap the ball without getting completely blown up by whoever was coming up the middle. Like he couldn't even do two things at once. And that's what I mean about like we got that continuity thing going on. It's like, dude, look, I'll tell you when to hike the ball, I'll tap you, and then you hike the ball to wing it. That is Pee Wee League. Like that is like Barney style. You know, like you shouldn't see that. Like you shouldn't be able to do your job, man. And rotating the guards, man, it's during the game, during a series is just baffling. This is just baffling. Like, stick with that. And if he can work that game, I know it sucks. And I know we don't want to hear that, do something about it, but you gotta let him go through the game. You gotta let him go through it and just get it all out. And you can say, hey, look, last week you sucked. You're gonna be on the bench, and we're gonna put this person in for next game, and that's what we're gonna go with for that game until you kind of figure it out. What we gonna do? I don't know. I mean, like I said, we in the season now. I mean, I don't know. I can't see us going somewhere and finding somebody.
Nope.
We're stuck with what we've got.
Yep.
Exactly. So,
and it's been like this. So, but like you have to catch a rhythm. I don't care what position it is. You can't just be thrown into the fire. You know what I mean? When you having a battle all game long with massive men.
Hasn't Bates had like issues all training camp and all preseason? Or at least all preseason with a nagging injury that he couldn't quite get out there very, very much for. So, I mean, honestly, it felt like it didn't feel smart to just kind of throw him in there. I get if Nate Davis is getting worked over and you want to try and stop the bleeding, but still. Just didn't seem like the smartest move.
Go ahead, Wes. No,
I was going to say, but with that being said, it's like, do you want to put the guy who was trying to play all preseason and training camp, trying to get out there, kind of injured with Bates, or Nate Davis, who was barely out? I mean, we was questioning where he was. Like, we couldn't find him in the building sometimes in training camps and practices, or did he even touch the field this practice? We was having these questions about where he was, why he wasn't practicing. At least Ryan Brace was out there practicing, injured and all, So I think you have to go with that. And I think they tried to, like I said, to be smarter than the rest of the world and try to do this rotation kind of thing to get Nate Davis some practice during the actual game, which was stupid, just to say nothing else.
So, and that's a good point, because like from both, like you said, Devin, he's been battling injuries, and like you said, Wes, you kind of want the guy who wants to play, because Nate Davis wasn't practicing
there too, though.
So but let's remember, and we spoke about this on one of our episodes over the offseason. Ryan Bates was supposed to be our starting center. You know what I mean? He was there on a depth chart Obviously, the injury slowed that down, so they had to put Coleman Shelton there. But Ryan Bates was supposed to be our center, and I think it's kind of a domino effect. You know what I mean? Because now you got a replacement, not a replacement, but a backup center in there, because of Ryan Bates' injury. And not only that, but now since you do like Ryan Bates so much, you kind of want to fit him in somewhere. And you don't. Coleman Shelton been playing center. You don't want to mess that rapport up with Caleb. You just want to leave it there. But now you're messing with Nate Davis, and pick one. I guess all in all, pick one. Just pick one. Obviously, they're gonna have to pick one, which we're gonna get into in a second. But I don't know. I think it's stupid. I hated everything about the coaching staff this first week because first of all, and this is off topic about the right guard situation, but Matt Eberflus, why are you allowing Shane Waldron to keep your $50 million tight end on the bench, 27 snaps to average 34 snaps? Not even that. Why are you allowing him to not let your core guys play together? So I think we let Matt Eberflus off the hook a little bit last week too. So
I think because he brought the house and he brought the pressure and the defense looked a little bit better, and that's how they kind of won. So you like, okay, I'll give you a thumbs up, kind of how we were saying in the pre-show.
My biggest problem with Eberflus last year was the non-existence of making adjustments at halftime. And when he came back out after halftime, there were some big adjustments that were made defensively. And so that to me showed signs of improvement. And so I think I gave him a little bit of a pass on not getting on Shane Waldron's ass because that doesn't seem to really be his style as far as taking ownership of that like offensive side of the ball. So he needs to figure that out because you can't just let somebody walk in and ignore things that have worked well for you in the past. Like he needs to be able to do that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think I gave him a bit of a pass to just kind of accept like, okay, we got the win. Defensively, he did what was necessary, but the offense needs to be fixed. And he needs to be the one to step in and say, okay, this isn't working. You need to do something. Kind of step in and maybe like throw his weight around in the sense that like, hey, at this point, like going in saying like, hey, I'm your boss. You gotta fix this, like figure it out because we can't just keep going out there and seeming like we're fish out of water, not knowing what to do.
Look, if you're just tuning in right now, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, just hit the like button. And if you got the time, head over to YouTube, give us a subscribe, and hit the like button as well. Look, we're here every week, post-game and pre-game shows, previewing every team. Look, fellas, I don't think we gave Caleb a grade last week, and I want to end this on this. Unless y'all got more y'all want to touch on from last week, I just want to give our grades for his performance last week, and we'll move on and turn the page to the Texans because we're hinting at a lot of stuff that pertains to the Texans, so I think we should get going. Go ahead, Wes. Go ahead.
I was just gonna do a touch and go. Run the ball. If you had the tight ends, you got all them tight ends. Run the ball. Khalil Herbert, run the ball. Homer, run the ball. Swift, run the ball.
I mean, like you said, Bayless got in before Herbert.
Bayless, yeah, run the ball. You can't run through the gaps and all that kind of swing, swoosh.
Not only did Bayless get in before Herbert, he got in after the muffed. I mean, it wasn't. I keep wanting to say muffed punt because it's so uncommon to muff a kickoff.
The kickoff,
but it wasn't even that he muffed it. It was that it hit him, and then he kicked the ball 20 yards right to them.
That's crazy.
We'll talk about Bayless too, his status for the game.
I'm
But look,
C minus.
go ahead.
That's my
Wes.
Caleb. I just wanted to touch on the run thing because we didn't really
C-minus.
try. I'm gonna give him a C minus because everybody like, oh well, he's gonna do better. My whole thing is, guess what? He could have did a lot worse. So I can't. He could have did a lot worse. He could have turned the ball over. He could have made some really bad plays. So I gotta at least give him a thumbs up for not turning the ball over. Our fumble wasn't him. We had no interceptions. So I'm not gonna give him a D. I wanted to give him a D plus. I'm gonna give him a C minus.
Devin,
I'm only gonna be just a little bit better. I'm gonna give him a C. Like, he went out there, he didn't really do what he was supposed to do, but the field goals that we got, and getting us there, and he did get us that 2-point conversion, although in the end it wasn't 100% necessary, but like getting us that 2-point conversion, okay, he found the end zone, even if it wasn't on a touchdown. And like Wes said, he didn't turn the ball over. And
so
at the end of the day, we won the game. So
yes,
I mean, like, it's really hard for me to give him too bad of a grade for doing enough to make sure that we still won. Like, if he's out there throwing interceptions to the other team and stuff like that.
What the fuck? My bad, Devin.
I'm guessing Ron is talking about Bayless because
I hope
I can't imagine he's talking about cutting Caleb on after the first game. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give a C for Caleb because he didn't do enough to really give him that boost into like a B or anything, but he also didn't do anything to really lose us the game.
I feel like we look. I don't know. He said, "Yep, Bayless." And yeah, we're gonna talk about Bayless. I walked him out of the stadium when he muffed it. So, my grade for Caleb, and I feel like it's back to normal. I feel like it's balanced again. I feel like we're a little balanced because I'm not going to. I can't give him a C, fellas. I can't give him a C. I'm going D. I'm not even giving a D plus. I just can't. You see the. Wait, no, I took them down. The numbers were going across the bottom of the screen. I'll put them back up real quick. I just can't. I can't give you a C. I'll give you a D for it. And if he threw any, I give him a D because he didn't turn the ball over. Otherwise, it would have been an F. You know what I mean? He didn't turn the ball over, so he doesn't get an F. He protected the football. He did get us some field goals, so I guess I could go D plus because that matters. I know a lot of people be like, oh, they didn't score a touchdown on offense, but yeah, he got us in field goal range. You know what I mean? We scored points,
But I will say some of the field goals were because we got into good position based on the returns by Carter.
That is a fact.
Carter's returns were phenomenal.
Oh my, yeah, he was doing his thing yesterday, not yesterday, but last week.
My only concern is that after a performance like that, are people now going to be sitting there kind of like preparing for that, or is that something that you really won't be able to prepare for? Because he had a couple of really good punt returns, and then he had that 60-yard whatever kickoff return. 66. So
yeah, look, and you're right. They're gonna watch the film, and there's a lot of film that the Texans gonna take from this game. And if Bayless is back there on anything, they're kicking it right at him. They gonna kick it right to him every time. But no, I mean, look, you're right. So some of those field goals did come from the special teams or defense helping us out by getting the interception or whatever they did. D. So I'm not even gonna go D plus. I'm gonna go D. Bear Truth said I give him a C. Yeah, numbers were down. He was nervous, but he was making the right reads. The offense still getting chemistry, and he protected the ball. After doing homework, he was better than first thought. And that's kind of what I was saying. You know what I mean? Our
I do
emotions was
think
high.
this is a good segment to have before we do the preview of the next game.
Right.
Like looking at just a concept of like, okay, letting us cool down a little bit, because after those games we all get
Yeah,
heated.
exactly.
And I mean, I had a couple people after watching our show, they text me and said like, dang, and if I just watched your show, I would have thought they lost because we
Hmm.
were all heated and stuff like that. And I agree. Like I get heated and passionate when it comes
Rightfully
to
so.
how they play, and sometimes even if they win, sometimes we wish for better.
Right, because that was bullshit. What we saw on offense was bullshit. From what the first of all, let's remember we're paying Keenan Allen $23 million. Like, and we're paying Cole Kmet $50 million. We just gave DJ Moore this massive, biggest extension we've given, the biggest contract we've given any Bears player. And we've had some dogs come through here. Not to mention what we gave DeAndre Swift. That was a pretty hefty contract for, you know what I mean? So it's rightfully so the emotions were high, but I do like, after having some time to process everything and let everything digest a little bit, we can come back here a little bit more level-headed. You know what I mean? So let's move on. Let's talk about this Texans team then. Let's talk about how we match up. Let's talk about the third downs, because we sucked on third down last week. So let's jump right into it. The Chicago Bears are 6.5-point underdogs. 6.5. That's damn near a touchdown. You got a touchdown. That's big, especially when the margins are usually 3 points or less in the NFL. CJ Stroud coming off a not phenomenal, but a pretty good performance. I think we got to give him his credit, because a lot of people, he don't turn the ball over. He didn't turn the ball over last game, and I'm trying to bring up his numbers if I can find it.
He didn't turn over the ball like in his first 7 games or some, like he broke the record in number of completed pass attempts without turning the ball over, I believe.
Yeah, and so last season he had 5 interceptions total. Yeah. His rookie year, he only had 5.
His first interception, though, didn't come until like week 7 or 8. Like that's crazy. Well, see, that's crazy coming from a Chicago Bears fan.
But as a rookie, though, that is insane. That is insane. CJ Stroud last week was 24 for 32, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. His QBR was 115.9. Our QBR for Caleb was 55.7. Just to give y'all an idea of the difference there. Look, we just talked about it. He's not gonna turn that ball over. He had 5 interceptions all last season. So you know how we won that game, right? It was the turnovers. We had Levis, he threw 2 picks and a fumble. CJ Stroud probably not gonna give us that. Now, if our defense is what we say they are, they're gonna force them into those mistakes. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say Will Levis didn't want to give us that.
Yeah, he didn't want to, so we had to force him. So hopefully we can force him, CJ Stroud, to make some of those mistakes. But look, this is a tough task, fellas. I don't know. Did any of us pick us to win this game in any of our schedule release? You picked us to win this game, Wes? I like that, because and then we don't give our predictions at the end of the show, but I like that. And you might be having some company depending on how this go. I can still be swayed. So but look, initial thoughts on this Houston Texans defense, offense, or whatever. What's your initial thoughts when y'all see them on our schedule?
So my initial thoughts were, I was kind of looking over them a little bit, and so their defensive line wasn't as scary to me at first as what I thought. Like when I first see them, I think, oh, that's crazy. It's gonna be tough. But then I kind of like looked at it like, yeah, they added Danielle Hunter from the Vikings, and we've seen him a lot over the years. But see, here's the thing, like Jones has seen him a lot over the years. Like Jones has history with him. Darnell Wright has history with who is it? Will Anderson. And the strength of their defensive line is their edge, or is the edge position on either side, and their tackles aren't the strength of where their defensive line is. And I think that might give us a little bit of a reprieve because Darnell Wright and Will Anderson, when they would go up against each other, like Will Anderson is not done well against Darnell Wright when they played against each other in college.
Yep.
And not like this is college and they're the same players or anything like that. So, but like just kind of looking back at like a history, because that's what we can do. And so I'm hoping that we can keep a bit of a cleaner pocket for Caleb to be able to kind of get to his receivers and stuff like that, and kind of do what he can do, like do what we already have seen that he can do, and actually put it together in like a game that matters.
Right.
So I'm nervous about their offense, but I'm also very confident in our defense. So it's kind of like our defense and their offense is going to be a battle to watch. Whereas I don't feel like our offense and defense and their defense is going to be that like battle, like two really good sides going at each other. But definitely for sure, when it comes to our defense and their offense, you have great receivers going up against really strong cornerbacks. And I already know that our like Jalen Johnson he's probably had this circled on his calendar for a while. He wants to go out there. Like he already was one of the best covering cornerbacks in week 1. He wants to kind of keep that trend going. And I'm very interested to see how Darnell Taylor does his second game with the Chicago Bears. He was fun to watch last week.
Oh yeah, no, I hear. I want to talk more about what the coach did against the Texans. Actually,
Okay.
So total yards they had was 303, 199 passing, 104 rushing, 7
This is
yards per
Colts?
play. This the Colts.
Okay.
7 yards per play, 14 first downs, 50% on third down, 50% on fourth down. Only 43 plays. They allowed 2 sacks, punted 3 times, 4 penalties, 1 interception thrown, and only 20 minutes of possession time. And they lost by 2. That tells me that this Texans team might be beatable still, in my eyes. We could probably still beat them. It's going to have to be kind of I can't say how we can. I mean, look, the Texans had the ball for 40 minutes.
Against the Colts.
Against the Colts. They had the ball for 40 minutes and won by 2. And they had an interception, which means
that sounds like us from last year.
You know what I mean? Like that.
We led in time of possession by a lot and barely scraped by with a win.
And that's what I'm saying. Barely scraped by. So that means that the Colts made the Texans work a lot on offense. Like I said, they averaged 5.5 per down. But if we could have some big plays, if we could average more than 7, because we only averaged what we averaged last week on.
Like, I don't even want to know.
Hold on, I got it right here. 2.8 yards per play.
Bro.
Wow, right?
That's unacceptable.
That's crazy.
It's really bad.
That was bad. Like that was terrible. Like, so I think with like we said, with an offense that didn't resemble what we thought we was gonna put out there, players injured. I mean, most of our players didn't even make it to the fourth quarter, especially I started Roma Dunze. Keenan Allen was gingerly running around, not really running the ball at all. I think we can come out with a win if we play to our strength. That's who we got. So if Roma Dunze don't play or Keenan Allen is not going to be there, you know, we got, like I said, we got to use Cole Kmet. We got to run the ball. We got to get that. I mean, if we can get the 30 30 minutes and 30 seconds. That means that we above on possession. Like we have to keep the ball. The defense needs to get them off the field and don't let them, get 40 minutes of time possession. So if we can, I think we knock that down.
If our defense can get off the field and then our offense kind of, because one of the problems that I thought that we had last week was our offense was giving up the ball right away, not like turnover wise, but they weren't able to consistently get longer drives. So the defense was going out there tired. At least in the first half, it kind of looked like they were tired sometimes, and might have been why there might have been a slip in coverage here and there. And I feel like what energized us was that blocked punt. Like they held them, then they blocked the punt, get the touchdown, and then everybody's excited, energized, nobody's tired anymore and stuff like that. But you can't count on something like that energizing your defense. Like offense needs to do their part in keeping the ball for a little bit. keep the time. Keep it, run some time and give our defense a little bit time to rest, and then send them back out there when it's time for them to go pick the ball off or something.
Yeah.
So look at Wes. You brought up time of possession, 40 minutes, right? You said 40 minutes.
That's
look, here's why. Yeah, they ran the ball 30 times with Joe Mixon. We ran the ball 10 times with DeAndre Swift. Like you have to run the football, especially now. Defenses aren't letting you just air them out. Not like it was going on the last two years. Defense is sitting back with two safeties high. They are protecting their end zones, and they telling them dudes nobody gets behind you. You know what I mean? Make them dink and dunk, check it down, all up. They got to be disciplined. The offense, Caleb Williams will have to be disciplined throughout the entire game. But like you said, 40 minutes, running the ball 30 times is crazy. I would love for that to be us. But you see what they're doing with a quarterback like CJ Stroud, who is he got a lot of praise from people. But with us, we ran it 10 times. Now, granted, Sweat and Simmons we weren't controlling that line of scrimmage like I thought we would. And that affected it, but still, you can't get away from it.
It does affect the run a little bit, but I mean, you do have other options to run.
Yeah, I feel like we got away from it too fast.
Yep.
I feel like we just said fuck the run. Let Caleb.
How many times is Wes screaming like run those end arounds that you got, and we ran one, it worked, and then we didn't go back to it. Like you can't do it every play, but like at least kind of pepper it in there every so often. And it's like, nope, we did it once, it worked. We'll save it again, maybe try it again in 3 games type of scenario. Like that. No, why would you not utilize something that worked? Just keep going back to something that doesn't.
Right.
You could tax tight ends. You could bring a tight end into the backfield. You could bring a receiver in close to the line and just run in that direction. Get Khalil Herbert and run in that direction. Get 4-5 yards. I'm not saying run the ball for 37 yards on one play. 5 will work. I mean, we are, like I said, 2.8 are down.
You got to,
and we barely ran the ball. Like you said, we ran about 10 times our running back.
I feel like that was our problem because you brought up earlier the third down conversion rate. And I feel like that was our problem with our third downs. Like it was almost always 3rd and long. And when we did have a 3rd and short, we didn't run it. And there was one 3rd and 2 that we completely aired it out going for the end zone. And my first thought was, are you sure that you want that to be the last play of this drive? Like, that's not what I want. Like, on 2 yards, I'd much rather punch it through and then take that shot to the end zone on 1st and 10.
And I should have remember like last week I put the numbers up side by side. I should have did this week, but I'm like, these dudes, they got the numbers themselves. I don't really need to put it up. But like that from last week.
Yeah.
If I did that this week, it was scary. I mean, if I did that this week, you could understand why we're 6.5 point underdogs. Yeah. Our third down percentage on offense last week was 15%. The Texans was 50. And that's tied for 5th, and we're 30th. So like it's literally polar opposites when it comes to these offenses from last week. I'm not talking about last season. We got a game from 2024 now. I don't need to talk about last season no more. So from last week, I mean, they were number 1 in rushing yards. We were 25th in rushing yards last week. You know what I mean? So look, if I'm gonna talk about my initial thoughts when I see this team, just see them on our schedule week 2. For me, it goes to those edge rushers that they have. The Neil Hunter, the acquisition that I kind of wanted the Bears to throw some money at. And then you got the Will Anderson, who was obviously a top 3 pick, I think. Look, this ain't on Coleman Shelton, Tevin Jenkins, and who
Nate Davis.
Because I guess we probably should have started this with our injury report. You know what I mean? But
Probably should have.
We'll jump into the injuries after this. It's not on them. It's going to the outside, which I just gave Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright some credit. Not this week. Y'all gonna have your hands full with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. And like you brought up earlier, Devin, that's a big reason Darnell Wright was drafted at 10. He handled Will Anderson proper. I'm gonna say he handled him proper that entire game they played them. Tennessee and Alabama, right? Yeah, he went to Alabama. Will Anderson went to Alabama, yeah, right. So yeah, he handled him proper, and that was a big reason his draft stock rose. So look,
because people were sitting there wondering where the heck Will Anderson was, and they just look and see that Darnell Wright had been just kind of keeping him at bay. And this is a guy that they had come to count on.
Yep.
So
if my initial thoughts for this team is those 2 dudes on the edge. If it completely shifts from interior to your tackles, you know what I mean? Braxton Jones, show us. Prove me wrong, because I've been dogging you all offseason, and I ain't afraid to say it. And if you go out there and prove me wrong, just like with Velus West, you held my feet to the fire. I won't say I was wrong, but
you'll give him 7 days. You'll give him 7 more days. Okay.
Who?
Braxton Jones. No, Braxton Jones. Velus gone.
If he comes out there and he does well, you're gonna give him another 7 days.
Give him another 7 days.
10-day contract. Give him that
10 day. Yeah, give him 10. Yeah.
But I'm not afraid to say that because like I said, I walked Velus out, and what was I doing? I won't say I hitched my wagon to him, but he's explosive. He got this. He blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck no more. It's time to go. When the live, you can say what you want in the offseason, but when it's time to put up or shut up in those live games, I mean, I can't defend you no more. And I think Eric Washington said it in his press conference. He's like, look, I feel for the dude. I feel for him. Because that is crazy what happened.
It's no reason. I can understand muffing a punt. You got dogs bearing down on you, dude. It's a little shaky because if you do catch it and you try to return, you can feel some pain or something. It is a new kickoff rule. The only thing you have to do is catch the ball. And before they even, like, soon as you catch the ball, then they start running. They giving you 5 to 10 yards to run.
They can't move until you touch it.
They can't move until you touch the ball. Then you touch it. And like Devin said, you muffed it in the worst way for this rule to even count. Like, even if you'd have muffed, he would have still had 3 seconds to jump on it like a regular, let's call it a regular muff would be. He muffed it so far in front of him that his own team couldn't even jump on the ball because it was just pretty much on the other side. Yeah, on the other side of the field by the time you even got to the ball. Like, that's just unacceptable, dude. And I just hate.
Yeah, like you said, it's a shame because that talent that he has is very evident. And it just sucks because, and granted, look, when you lose players, our Bears fans like to say, and I'm one of them, oh, somebody's going to scoop him up and he going to go somewhere and ball out, blah, 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 this and that and the third. Look, I'm afraid, but you can't.
Ain't
You
nothing I
can't
can
keep
do
worrying.
about it.
Ain't nothing.
Can't worry.
Ain't nothing.
Can't worry. Hey, look, you can't worry about if y'all break up and she go get married and live a happy life. You can't be mad. Okay, look, it wasn't working on me.
Exactly, and y'all can rekindle that. I don't know if y'all have done that before, rekindling and spun a block, but it still don't work out because y'all didn't work out for the same reason that y'all broke up in the first place. But look, Valus, I can admit when I'm wrong there. But Braxton Jones, I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm wrong or right on Braxton Jones because he played well last week. He has a big test this week. Show me.
Yeah,
you know what
persistent.
I mean? I'm performance over politics all day. I don't give a fuck about the narrative. I don't care about being right. We all love this team. Go perform, Braxton, and show me that you belong on this damn team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my initial thoughts when it comes to when I see them on the schedule. I look at the edges. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson.
It's gonna come down to the run game. We got to run better. We got to run better, and we got to stop the run. I just looked at how they secondary did. Let me just bring it back up. Where was it?
Alec Pierce burnt their ass on Anthony Richardson's that viral bomb that's been going around the internet. I know y'all saw it. It was beautiful. I ain't gonna lie. He slipped. The man slipped.
Still got it out there.
Oh my god! Look, it was amazing. It was a great. It was a great.
Like I said, like you said, Mixon, 30 carries, 159 yards, touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what we got to stop. I'm not Nico Collins, 6 for 117. Tank Dell, 3 for 40. Diggs, 6 for 33, 2 touchdowns. I'm not really worried about the receivers. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't been. I really ain't. I'm like,
you're not worried about the receivers.
I think our secondary. I think Tyreek. I think JJ. I think Bayard. I think those guys can handle it. Like I said, that's not my worry. My worry is we're gonna be able to stop Joe Mixon.
So before we go any further, Wes, do you? Let's talk about this injury report real quick, just so we know who we have available to us and who we don't, and then who maybe, what you got it in front of you?
Yeah, I got it right here. So who we ain't got? We ain't got Blasting Game, and we won't have Bates. They are out. We won't have Bates for 4 weeks. He is official IR. We got Keenan Allen is Blasting Game. Yep, which is kind of
that's gonna be big because
that's big. I just said what I just said about the run game. You can bring a tight end into the backfield. I just said that. That's why I said it, because I knew what the injury report said. Keenan Allen questionable, did not practice. Rome questionable, limit. Pickens and Mercedes Lewis is questionable, but they practice fully. Kyron
Pickens practice fully.
Yeah, he had a full practice.
Okay,
Pickens and Mercedes Lewis both had full practice.
Okay.
Walker questionable, limited in practice, and Karan Ambagaji, he's still a dash. It don't say questionable, but I'm calling him questionable. But he had a full practice.
Okay,
that's good to hear.
Full practice.
I said he had a full practice, so
that's good news.
That's good news. Maybe we see him. I mean, they like rotating the line. Maybe he rotate in. I don't know, but
so who are our outs? Who's out for us this week?
Our definite out this week is Ryan Bates and Blasingale. So,
okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. So let me ask y'all this question then, because I know we talked about the wide receiver we called up.
Yeah, Colin Johnson.
You just spoke about Keen. Who was it we called up?
Colin Johnson, the one that had the touchdown. Yeah,
he had the great game against the Texans.
Fan favorite.
Yeah.
In that Hall of Fame game, he's the one that had the great game against the Texans. And we're playing.
That was that game, wasn't it? And then he got hurt. We ain't see him no more, right? I think we ain't see him no more after that. So let me ask y'all this then. We're making moves like that. You're calling dudes up from the practice squad. Who's out? Keenan or Rome?
Rome. I got the
Why?
jersey on.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so like I
oh
said,
yeah. Let's see the jersey real quick, just real quick.
you know, I got my fit ain't chill ain't on.
I love it. I love it. That dude. Hey,
Uh,
I was a little jealous when you sent this to the chat. Not jealous in envy way, but just like,
yeah,
damn, I gotta get mine too. You know what I
gotta
mean?
get yours. Gotta get yours. But okay, I'll tell you why I'm leaning towards that Rome is out. If you
Yeah.
listen to Rome's
Why
press
Rome
conference.
over Keenan?
Okay, so they did. I watched the Rome press conference, and Rome talked about his knee injury, not never having a knee injury, really just trying to understand what his knee injury is, what he can and can't do. He ain't never dealt with it. Like he said, if you read the headlines, he heard a pop, all this other kind of things. It doesn't look like something that's going to be a problem in the future, but it does seem like something that we should, like I said, he's a rookie, so you kind of gotta and I hate to say the word baby, but you gotta baby him through something he ain't never been through. He's kind of
Right.
concerned, and you don't want him out there second guessing himself. Keenan Allen, on the other hand, he has had injuries. He's a veteran. He has dealt with this heel injury previously in his career, and he has played with it. So he knows what he's doing. He knows what he can get out there and do, and how to have an efficient game or an effective game with this type of injury. So I would say, if from what Eberflus said too, he said, like, with Keenan being a veteran who's been through this already, you kind of give them more rope than a rookie who says, hey, I've never been through this. I woke up the next day and it was hurting worse. Like, is that something I should go
Is
into?
that what he said?
And he said, and he called in and said, hey, look, it's hurting worse. What we should do? Like, hey, should we get an MRI? And he wanted, Rome himself wanted, hey, yeah, let's try to do an MRI on it. I want the most information on what's going on.
And that's probably that second opinion they were talking about.
Right, that second opinion. And he said, even though everything is seeming to be, clearing up, is the pain has subsided a little bit. He talked a lot about, hey, if I do go out there and go give it my all, how would I feel the next day? Because at the same time, we want them to be great, on Sunday at that time for that, 3 hours, hour long playtime and all of that for us. But
want to answer that question, Wes?
Yes, I am. I'll go. I'll be here tomorrow night. Hey, look, I'm in the past. I'm all the way in the Pacific time zone. It's still gonna be a little bit early for me. So I'll go
it's
live.
a no-brainer. We will be here. We will be here, especially it's a primetime game. It's prime time. I love when the world, and I don't mean to derail you, Wes, but I love when the world watching our team. Everybody gotta watch us. All eyes on the Bears. You know what I mean? Whether good or bad, I don't care. All eyes on the Bears. Keep going.
And I'll just wrap it up from what Rome really said. He was just saying, like, he's more worried about how he's going to feel the next day, because he still has to go and get better and keep practicing and all that the next day after the game. Because he go out there, let's say you have a great game and all that, and he wake up the next day, knee swole, can't really practice, has to deal with that kind of thing, and go through a whole week of not fully practicing just to build up to do it over and over and over again. That's not a good thing for your rookie. That's not a good thing for his mindset, his development, and all of that. And like I said, don't be like some kids, man. They get a brand new toy on Christmas, and by New Year's it's broke. They can't find the pieces. They missing the dice to the Monopoly game. The card, can't find nothing. So let's not break out new toys. Let's take some time. 1 or 2 weeks, I don't think gonna kill us. Like I said, our wide receiver room is pretty good. I think they're, with the right game plan and all that kind of stuff, I think we have a decent enough team to go in, week out, and be still competitive. Like I said, we got to blow the top off every single game. So
you think Rome will be inactive and Keenan will be active, but you want the same thing?
I do.
Like
I don't.
Okay.
I'm for Rome not playing. I'm for, like I said, you got to develop these guys not only in the game, mentally, how to, that's why we bring veterans in. That's why we bring veterans in and pay the money to teach these younger guys how to have longevity and how to be the best players they can be. So, and like I said, he seemed a lot worried about, outside of the game and how it's. Yeah. He was a little scared. He don't want to go out there this next week, re-hurt his MCL, and be gone for the season, be gone for his career, stuff like that. So I'm with him on it. So I would think it would be best. So like I said, Colin Johnson is not a bad person to kind of bring up. And like I said,
not at all.
We got a lot of we can survive a week without him.
Devin, Who you think? Do you think who do you think the Bears going to be making active? Because, like I said, we brought up Colin Johnson, so there's something going on. Do you think the Bears
So
going to make Roman active or Keenan inactive? And then, who
there's
do
also
you
that
prefer?
there's
What's up?
also that possibility. Now I hope we don't do this because that's a a, a difficult game for our wide receiver room. But like we have Tyler Scott. He was a healthy scratch last week, but the position that he tends to play tends to be the one that Keenan usually plays, as far as like
Slot.
that slot receiver. And so like I was thinking about that, like, okay, maybe they brought up Johnson, but if like the worst case scenario for me would be if neither Keenan nor Rome played, and then we have DJ, um,
Yep.
Tyler Scott, and
Mm-hmm.
Colin Johnson. Like
It's
that,
a valid
that would be
concern.
mm, that wouldn't be ideal for me as far as watching like watching the game, and everybody knows then at that point you're going to DJ.
I mean, and then
So
even and at that, if that does happen, and it's a very valid concern. Caleb essentially, and I've been hearing this a lot lately, this week. Caleb will basically have the same wide receivers that Justin was. You got the DJ Moore, your Tyler Scott, and then whoever else. That's gonna be the same. We will go from, and well, a lot of fans been worried about this. We'll go from having one of the deepest, the best wide receiver rooms to exactly what Justin been dealing with. You know what I mean? So that's kind of crazy. And if you think of it that way. But
but
keep
what
going, Devin.
personally what I hope happens is because they were talking to Rome at one point and they were saying that him playing or not is all about what what he's feeling and how the pain is, and
Right.
I don't know, having a Saturday night or Sunday night game might give him a little bit more time during the day to kind of feel like, is this something that you can play through? Is it something that you can actually use?
Pain
Like,
tolerance.
like pain tolerance? Like, are you okay? Like, is this something? Because like it maybe if it's earlier in the day, like at noon, maybe his knee is feeling a little different, but by the end of the night he would have been okay. Who
Right.
knows? Now there's a lot of variables in that situation, like with Keenan or Rome. If it were up to me, if he were ready to play, I would be okay with them playing Rome. But if there's any questionability at all when it
Right.
comes time for the game, don't play Rome. Keenan, like Wes said, Keenan has dealt with injuries
Yes.
and he kind of knows what he can and can't do. And
Mm-hmm.
having Tyler Scott there would mean that we could potentially take Keenan out for a couple of plays here and there, put Tyler Scott in, and everything would be okay to kind of like get us through those couple of plays, especially if we took Keenan out for a few run plays. Don't do it every run play, otherwise they'll know that that's exactly what you're doing. But I mean, just having those options, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable with. But
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to see personally. I don't want to see Keenan or Rome having this nagging injury all season long.
It's
Like
week 1, week 2.
we want to get to a certain point where everybody's starting to gel, everybody's healthy. Like you can't gel until you're all healthy. Like once you're all healthy, then you can start to gel, then things start to move in the right direction. I don't
Exactly.
want that to be all season of us like waiting for somebody to come back from injury like that.
Exactly.
We've had too many years like that.
But
I was heartbroken when I heard about the MRI. I was like, no, not again. Like, not this shit. Like, I was worried, real worried when they were talking about that MRI for Rome. And then when they finally came back with the report, I just like released the biggest sigh of relief because I was like, okay, it's not nearly as bad as what it could have been.
And on top of that, Caleb liked throwing bombs to Scott. I mean, if we go back to Hard Knocks and go back to training camp, man, he was. I mean, last week he was robbed of one just because was that last week or was that preseason when he threw it to Tyler Scott and they took the PI. He took the PI instead of giving him a touchdown. That would have been a touchdown. So having DJ and Tyler Scott out there with a let's just call a safety blanket and Colin Johnson and all that kind of stuff, I think we will be fine. I'm not gonna like feel condemned and think we got the same because I mean it's Colin Johnson, it's not Claypool. So I think we'll be fine. Colin Johnson wants to play. Yeah, I'm with Ricky on that. Could sit both of them. Could definitely sit both of them. And I think we'll be okay. Like I said, I think we'll be okay. Like I said, the coach threw for almost 200 yards against that secondary. So, you know, I don't think having, you know, those two out would really damage. I think it's more of the game plan. Is what I'm worried about. So
talk to D's. Talk to D's. Appreciate you jumping in the chat. We haven't seen you in the chat before. That's a unique name. We would have remembered that. But hey, we appreciate you being here. Look, put your comments in the comment section. Put your thoughts in the comment section and talk football with us. Talk Bears football with us. If you're a fan of another team, talk about that team with us. I probably should have put Texans #Texans so we get another dude like pistol grip up in here. You know, fans of other teams, we welcome them to come in here and talk some football with us too.
Yeah, we ain't see him.
He didn't show up.
I ain't heard from him for 10 days. His phone must be off. He ain't got no minutes.
Because he was live. He was live as fuck before the game, and then after. And look, he had something to talk about. You know what I mean? We didn't play well. They lost, but we didn't play well. So he had something to talk about. He didn't jump in here. Look, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. We here every week talking football.
I'll be honest though, and we've been in his shoes before where we were up and then we just totally blew the game. No way in hell would I want to go like talk about how the other team didn't play well and we still lost. Like, come on.
Right, Ricky? Hey, but look, I would have still came up here.
Exactly. You gonna talk like that? You still show your face.
My bold prediction was Rome. Doomsday was supposed to have a catching touchdown and a rushing touchdown, and he ended up getting injured. I got to sit up here and talk about how I don't want him to play next week. I want to say that. I wish he was healthy and confident and go out there and ball out. But I just got to be real with it. I got to sit here and eat crow and just be like, hey.
It happens.
It happens. It's okay.
So, my stance on the whole injury, the whole Keenan or Rome, if I had to pick one, and then who I think the Bears gonna pick to sit, I think Rome's sitting. I don't think Rome's playing. I don't see a point in playing him this week too. You know what I mean? I don't see if he's who you think he is and who you drafted him to be. You sit him. Me personally, what I would do, I'm gonna sit Rome as well. I'm gonna side with Poles. I'll sit Rome too. And Keenan, it just sucks because it's week 2, and Keenan was dealing with a foot injury last season. Now he got another foot injury this season. It just sucks. We paying him $23 million. We seen him limping on one of those deep balls from Caleb last week. That just sucks to me. I wish they was all healthy. Even DJ Moore had to come out. Remember that deep ball to the left side to DeAndre Carter? That was a DJ Moore route. But DJ Moore was dealing with whatever with the trainers on it. So he wasn't out there. So it just sucks because like I know, Wes, you said it's not exactly the same, but it could be that way. Like he has the same receivers as Justin. You know what I mean? If we sit them both, like Ricky said, I can't find the comments on where is it? He said sit them both, Keenan and Rome, and it's just like, yeah. But that's exactly like you don't want it. Sometimes you may have to do that, but you don't want that. What's up, Wes?
No, the only reason I was saying like sit them because a lot of people. I mean, I watch every sports channel. Everybody picking the Texans to win anyway. It's like I don't want to say just, you know what I'm saying, give the game away and just let it be, but we don't want them to not be able to play against next week against the Colts. That's a game that I'm pretty sure when we look at our schedule, a lot of people got a W by that one. When we do our final analysis of it, a lot of people like, yeah, we supposed to win that game, but then now they can't play. Now they out, not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you look at, like I said, we did our whole breakdown of the schedule, win. I'm pretty sure Pose and them look at like, okay, and they be honest with themselves without the players. Like, I think this winnable. I think we can do this. What is our losses might be, so we can plan on where we can say, hey, look, it's just like a play. Like, we know where we can like ease off. How many points we up? How many points we back? What we need to do is just like, calling a game. You got to call the season in a way too, to say, hey, if we had to not play everybody right now, is this a game that we should? If we already made the playoffs, it's weeks, 17, 18, and we already in the playoffs, do we really want to put our starters out there and risk injury when we don't have them for a playoff run? So a lot of times you will sit your ones. This is the perfect time to actually kind of do it. Sit them and get them healthy. It's like reverse, sadly, but sit them and make sure they're healthy this week. Like, let's figure out where we are. Let's reevaluate who's hurt and who's not, and then do it. Because the last thing we want is, I'm saying last thing we want is to do it in the middle of the season on our week 11. Week 11 come, and now they just can't play. And that's when we're going to our divisional run. And now this is what we fighting for our division. Do we want that to be the time that we kind of having this conversation, or get it out the way now? So, like I said,
and I know you talked about you just mentioned the schedule release in the shows we talked about with WW, but I think you got to think after seeing that week 1 performance, and we gonna see Sunday night as well, some of our predictions might change a little bit. We obviously seen the Titans played us way tougher than we expected. I imagine, especially seeing a 27-29 loss from the Colts to the Texans. Yeah, they played them really tough. It's a divisional game. So you see them 2 times a year, so that that's a little different. But the Colts game won't be as easy as we probably thought in the offseason, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anybody's wrong, but rightfully so, that we felt like, oh yeah, on paper, dog them.
Right.
After seeing these dudes perform and seeing our quarterback throw for 93 yards, I think some of our opinions might change. They may not. Bear Truth said, I think we're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets this game. And look, I'm glad you brought that up, because
we better.
Let's talk about some of those keys to success, which we do every pregame show, every game preview. We talk about some of those keys to success for the offense and defense, what we think that the Bears should do or need to do to win that game. Ricky Mosby said, if Shelton don't show up, Caleb won't have the time to throw to anybody. What I will say to that, Ricky, is I don't think the Texans have a Tavondre Sweat, nor I don't think they have a Jeffrey Simmons on that in a D tackle, the 3 technique and a nose tech. So I don't think they have those guys, but they do have Will Anderson and the other guy, Daniil Hunter. So look, keys to success. Let's talk about it. Offense. We'll start with the offense. Keys to success on offense. Should I take it away, or is anybody eager to jump in there with theirs? I'll take it away. Ricky was right on cue. He was right on cue. Where is it? Or no, not Ricky, but Bear Truth. I think somebody else said it. 2 tight end sets. 2 tight end sets. If you love Everett so much, Waldron, don't swap them. We did too much 11 personnel. 1 running back, 1 tight end. No, hell no. 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, especially since we're banged up. Don't put all 3 of your wide receivers out there. Let's just say Rome and Keenan are active. You know what I mean, fellas? Don't put them both out there. We don't need all 3 DJ King. Use a tight end since you love Everett so much. Let's do 2 tight ends and just do DJ and Keenan, or DJ and Rome. You don't need to juice them all game. My keys to success is use more 2 tight end sets. You don't need to use 3 wide receivers. Keep it simple for your rookie QB. Not just, injury wise. Keep it simple for your rookie QB. Line up in 12 personnel. If you want to use Everett more, and look, especially because our wide receiver room is banged up. I think this is very important because of that fact. You know what I mean? Don't go out there and hurt them more if you do decide to play them. That's my key to success for this week. I did have another one, but I think one of y'all may take it. We'll see. Use more 12 personnel, 2 tight end sets. I think that'll help us a lot in the run game. I think it'll help us a lot in the pass game because look, I don't dislike Everett, but I don't think he should be getting those snaps over Komet. Use them both. You know what I mean? So that's my key to success for the offense. Fellas, take it away.
I say run the dang ball. Like, I'm thinking that was already on Wes's mind too, because he's been talking about it since like literally the first quarter of the last game. Like, they don't run the ball enough, and that became a problem. Everybody knew that he was dropping back to pass. Mm-hmm. And I understand that the offensive line, it was tough to run the ball up the middle, but figure something out to be able to kind of give those like options to run the ball. Get them off their game. Don't just kind of let the defense dictate how you play offense. Like, you need to kind of figure out how to manage that. Otherwise, you're giving them complete control.
Yep.
And so I understand we want to see Caleb with a whole bunch of like a bunch of good stats, like lots of yards and stuff, but that's gonna come once we can kind of give him time, give him the opportunity to get the ball out and really kind of keep them on their toes.
I like this comment right here. We could actually run the ball. We could also actually run with some physicality with Rojo. Look, I know he's dealing with a little bit of turf toe slightly, but he wasn't. I don't think he was. Was he on it? He wasn't injured. He was
inactive.
He was just inactive, right?
Inactive.
So
no, like he wasn't listed, like even listed to play.
Right. Yeah. That's insane. Like, it just goes back to Herbert getting carries, his first carry 30 seconds into the second quarter, or Velus Jones getting carries before. Why is Velus active in Rojo? I don't get it. The personnel decisions that Waldron made this game was just horrible to me. Horrible.
Well, with Roshan not being on the injury report, hopefully we get a chance to actually see some of that, but that only happens if Waldron legitimately makes the right choices.
Exactly. And it seems so simple. But go ahead, Wes.
No, you're right. You were just said, I mean, I got it right here. I can read my card from top to bottom, and I got offense. Top thing right there. Shane Waldron. Personnel, play calling. Remember, Caleb is still a rookie, no matter what. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is me screaming at Shane Waldron, by the way. Run the ball / Khalil Herbert, question mark. Utilize your tight ends, / blocking. Use them to help blocking. Use them to help run the ball. Like I said earlier, you can motion a tight end into the backfield. I formation. Work that front seven out. Tire them boys down. Make it where they so tired from trying to push over other fat people where they can't even get to the quarterback. That gives Caleb Williams time to throw some darts to some people. Get some people downfield, open up. How about we just actually try to play football? That's it. Let's just play some offensive football. It's simple. That's it. And that was my keys. We can, like I said, we can get off, like Devin was saying, Caleb will get his stats and all of that eventually. He'll shine eventually, but you got to start with, hey, let's take the names off the back of the jersey and let's just play actual football and go from there.
You see what Ricky's saying? He kind of look. Waldron is the biggest key to this game. If you want to go there, hell yeah, because I think I think no matter the personnel you have, no matter the injuries you're dealing with, that is your job to work around those issues and come up with a game plan that works. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's easier said than done. I get that, but he get paid millions of dollars to do that. So let's not hold the guy's hand. So I mean, Wes, so your key to success was
just playing football. Let's start with the run. Let's just start with the run. Let's fix personnel. Let's get like you was just saying, let's put the right personnel out there. Let's run the ball. Let's understand, like I said, understand that Caleb is a rookie. Make it easy for him as a rookie. Just make it easier for him. Get it out of his hands. Because guess what? Even if he throw 9 for 11 for 111 yards with 1 touchdown, when he sit in front of the press conference the other day, hey, look, I did it. I had an all right game. I had a decent game because we ran the ball 20 times with Swift and 15 times with Herbert. 5 with Velas, hopefully, if he don't fumble the ball. You know what I mean? End around, you'll have a 1. Like I said, you brought up Everett. I don't even remember ever getting a block. I saw him getting a catch, and it said -1 yard or -2 yards. He had a catch for negative yards. After 4 quarters, he was out there more than any other tight end, and 1 catch, and it was negative. Coleman had 1 catch. It was 4 yards. He did 4 times better than him. I mean, it's still ugly, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Use your tight ends. Block, get them out in the flat. Like, it's stuff that we thought we were going to be doing when we were talking about this team before we weren't even started. All the things we said and all the weapons and how we was predicting who was going to do what and how we was going to get over on people. And, I don't think we thought we would do any of the things that we did in game 1. Except for maybe on defense. And special teams surprised us too. So, hey.
Yeah, look. I agree. I think you had like three or 4 different keys to success. But
see, his keys to success boiled down to Waldron, just do your job right.
Yes. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
He had like 7 of them, but like they all stem from Waldron doing his job right. And if he can do that, then we gonna be okay.
Even if we did that, at least we have something to actually, because I feel like we don't even have no offense to really dissect, because that didn't even feel like a real true offense.
You have no identity.
Right. You said no identity.
Like, Bears do this well, or they like to do this. No identity.
Can't even call it balanced. You can't call it run heavy. You can't call it pass heavy. We can't even say they do a lot of trickery. Like nothing. A lot of motion. Do they motion a lot? Do they not motion a lot?
The Bears' offensive identity is that their defense plays real well.
That's it. They got some hell of a kickers, Cairo Santos, and I wanted to point this out before I got the keys. It says, what did I say? I did the numbers. I think the Bears offense had a total of like 220 something yards. Torrey Taylor, punter, had a total of 270 yards punching the ball.
200. Let me see. That's a little.
Yes, 270 total, 6 punts, average 45 yards, 3 within 20.
Okay, so you said
real, at least one of those punts, we got there and it just took that weird ass bounce and it hit like at the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, and then bounced sideways into the end zone. And it's like, if we could have pinned that down, that would have been great. But you go ahead and continue, Mark.
No, I just wanted, just correct. The Bears did not have 270. The defense gave up 270. The offense had 170. The offense didn't do. We're last in the league in total yards right now. 32nd, and the Texans offense is second.
No, my bad. I did the math.
No, you good.
You're right. No, yours right.
No, you're good. I just wanted, because it shows the stark difference between these offenses. Like I said, we're 32nd in total yards, and the fucking Texans are 2nd in total yards. It's just crazy to me. Yeah. Any more keys to success before we move on to the defense?
I'm good.
All right, let's move on to defense. Defensive keys to success. The defense played well in the second half for us. I think we can all appreciate what we saw.
I got one. So I kind of went back and rewatched some of the game and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I didn't give Jervon Dexter as much credit
Okay.
as I probably should have.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't necessarily play amazing that first half, but like he definitely added pressure up the front and kind of forced Levis out of the pocket off to the sides, which kind of helped our edge kind of get some of those sacks or get there and really kind of make things difficult for him. And Jervon Dexter had a sack, and I'm looking at the number of sacks that we had last game, and it's been a while since our opening game. We've had 3 sacks, and that's just 3 of them that I can think of. And
Yeah, it makes
so
sense.
I'm gonna say one of the keys to success is maybe Jervon Dexter having a good game, kind of really establishing all the good things that they've been saying about him all off season and training camp and stuff like that. Like there were a lot of times when Jervon Dexter was in the right place at the right time to
Yep.
stop a good run or really just kind of pushing back that pocket, not letting Levis step up. And he did well, and he was, if I remember correctly what I was reading, that he was the only defensive tackle that got a sack in week 1. And that's impressive with the way that we saw the Titans defensive tackles going after Caleb. Like that, it's impressive to know that our defensive tackle was the only one that got a sack. So I think that would be one of my keys to the success for the defense.
Jervon
But real
Dexter.
quick, I'm not feeling so good, guys. So I'm gonna hop out, and I will see you guys all back here after the game tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and get into the game afterwards. Whether it's a win or lose, we'll be here, and I will see you guys later.
Yes, sir. Look, Devin, great show. Just go rest
Sure.
up a little bit and be ready for this prime time because it's a big game tomorrow.
Big game tomorrow. All right, so that's sad, but I'm
Talk
gonna
to us, West.
right in. I'm not gonna go down all my keys, but my main one is get them off the field. Get the offense off the field. Like I said, last game they had 40 minutes time of possession. They ran 76 plays. They was, like I said, 50% on third down, 50% on fourth down.
76 plays.
76 plays. They ran 76 plays.
What was their third down percentage?
57 for 14.
Jeez.
And actually, they was 100% on fourth down. My bad. I missed 100% on fourth down. You see what I'm saying? Like that's just dominating the game, and they only won by 2. And so that's why I'm saying to our defense, I got up here, pressure the quarterback, make the pocket as small as possible, and get off the field. Get them on third and long, and get them off the field. Get them off the field. Montez Sweat. Yeah.
No, keep going. Now we're on defense. I was gonna say so. Yeah. I'm gonna say so. Basically, you pointing it towards the defense. Yeah, we're on defense.
Yeah, defense. Yeah, we're on the defense. I'm telling the defense to get them off the field. Get them off the field. Small pocket, pressure, run, stop. I want to see a lot. I want to see Montez. Montez, you got a crazy little wild Tasmanian devil on the other side, and Darrell Taylor, man. We got a crazy. He going out there flailing around, and he's going crazy. You got somebody over there that they gonna pay attention to, and in the film you could see him flashing and flying around. Stop the run and have faith in your pass coverage, man. We know that secondary ain't nothing bat their eyes at, man. We want them to try. We want them to try Tyreek. They got a touchdown on Tyreek. Get in week 1, he turned around, got a pick 6. He had some big time bat down passes that he was out there for. Let that secondary do what they gonna do. Like I said, I mean the tackles is crazy. How many tackles we had? I mean everybody had at least 2 or 3 tackles from JJ to TJ. I mean everybody was out there getting in there. Like I said, be one big defensive unit and get them off the field. I mean, how many first downs I think they had? 26.
Sheesh. Hey.
26. They did all of that and barely won by 2. And like I said, they had 2 points. And like I said, they had a turnover, they had an interception, they had the ball the longest. They was really efficient on 3rd and 4th down. First down, they was getting every first down. They even allowed 4 sacks that game, but they only punt the ball twice. That's a point.
That's a
point.
Lot of big plays. I see.
That's that you see. That's 1 punt a half. We can't have that. They got to be punting 2-3 times a quarter. For me, easy. So if we could do that, like I said, I think that's why I keep saying like I'm gonna stand on here. Probably going, hopefully I can stand up here with my prediction. We 2-0. I think we can still do it. I think that's just what you got to do. We got to have some big plays on, and then we got to slow them down. That's it.
My keys to success is going to be for the defense is going to be Ho Mixon and the Texans to under 100 yards rushing. We just talked about how many times they ran the ball all show long. 30 carries just for Mixon. We didn't even look at the other running backs. I'm sure they used some other guys, but he had 159, 69 yards rushing, whatever. You got to hold him to under 100. The entire team needs to be under 100. And I thought I threw this in there too because I was disappointed. Tremaine Edmonds had 2 tackles last week, and then his running mate TJ Edwards had 10. I need Tremaine Edmonds 8 to 10 tackles as the linebacker. You have to fly around that field. I get it. You're in coverage. You're our coverage guy. So you're backing up. You're out there running. You're probably gonna be out there with Tank Dell in 20 to 25 yards deep downfield in the middle of that defense. I get it, but I need you tackling in the run game. I need you to stop that run 30 times. I don't even want them to think about running it 30 times because they ain't getting nothing the first 10 times.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's my key to success on defense. You gotta stop that goddamn run game. Everybody's running the ball right now because everybody, like I said earlier, 2 safeties deep. You're not beating people deep. You got to run the ball, bring those safeties up, make them play 1 safety deep, put another guy in the box to stop that run game. This and that and the third. So we got to be the same way. You got to stop that run game. You have to stop that run game. He cannot come out here in 30 carries, 159, 69 yards. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's insane. So what's up?
No. I'm with you. I'm looking at. I had to go look to see who else ran the ball, and the only person ran the ball more than him was the only person had more carries than him is CJ Stroud with 4.
Really?
4.
Joe Mixon has to be bottled up, and I don't know if that's a testament to the old line moving shit or whatever it is. You got to bottle him up, keep him. And like I said, I'm not letting Tremaine Edmonds off the hook. He only had 2 tackles. I'm sure he had some assisted tackles or whatever, but he had 2 solo, 2 assists.
Yeah.
What's your
TJ
what
have
did he,
5.
See,
so he get credit for 15 total for TJ, 4 total for Tremaine. Oh, he's on my boot list. He's on my get a boot
Tremaine.
List. Yeah, he number 1. I put V-list under him, and we know what V-list is.
Oh wow.
Because he got to get kicked. He got kicked. Hey, I ain't saying kick him out the building, but you got to kick him in the butt. Like, dude, what are you doing out there?
He had that one play where he remember he got that stop on 3rd down and it was like 4th and 1 and they punted, but he wrapped the dude up and kept him from moving forward. That was the only play I seen from Tremaine that entire game. Tremaine got to do better. He get paid way too much, and I feel like he going under the radar. I don't like that. I don't like when dudes slide under the radar. Like I said, hold Mixon to under 100 yards in the entire Texans offense. And then I need Tremaine flying. I need him 8, 10 tackles. I don't give a fuck if they got the first. You better be making the tackle. You know what I mean? 2 tackles is not enough for me. Not at middle linebacker in Chicago.
Not even. Unacceptable. Our favorite position. The kick returner out there doing nonsense. We don't like that in Chicago. Middle linebacker out there, nonsense. Wait, that's the 2 spot. That's the 2 spots. Come on now. You look, I got a bus pass for you, man. Look, get you that metro, get you that metro.
I like that you said that though, because honestly, yes, he needs to be a boot candidate.
He's a
He
boot
needs to
candidate.
be a boot candidate. Tremaine
'Cause
Edmonds has
I
underperformed.
get underperform. I get, like I said, I get what Velas did, which was horrendous.
Yes.
But come on, Tremaine, dude. Like you out there, you getting way more opportunities
Yes.
to be better than Velas is getting. And like I said, I had to put Montez on that. I know he was on the injury report. I need to see Montez. Like I said, you got Darrell Taylor over there. He showed what he could do on the other side.
Oh man,
I need to see you in that. Even though Montez did rip that fumble out to make sure we got it, you know, he got down in there and pulled it up out.
Oh,
of
the
there.
recovery,
The recovery. He was in there getting it up out of there. Yeah, that's somebody else's job. Your job is to actually get the fumble. Use the one that's supposed to be hitting the quarterback, ripping the ball out. But
but you know who hit that quarterback?
Yeah.
He said, "Oh yeah, hey, this shout out to you, Bearski." He
Bearski.
said, "I love your hype videos, Bearski film. Look, I love the community. I love the Bears community. We can all, you know, come as one and jump in the chats and shout out each other. So look, go follow his page. Look, he definitely makes some good shit. Tyson Bagent actually sat down and watched one of his videos personally. So go watch Bearski film. He makes some good content. You ready? You ready to jump into some boldness? Let's be bold and not scary, not soft. Let's
wait, man. Devin got a text in his assignment. No, just playing. Devin cannot be here.
I wish I wanted to though. I wanted,
No.
but he ain't feeling well. So I wanted him to, because we was right here. We was right there for him to give his bold prediction. And we know, I like to toot my own horn. I like to put my crown on my head. My bold prediction came back last week. Came true last week, and it was 3 takeaways and a touchdown, and that's exactly what happened for that Bears defense. I don't know. That's bold. I don't care. Some people may say it's not bold. That's bold. 3 takeaways and a touchdown. That's very bold. But my bold prediction for this week, Wes, DeAndre Swift, 100+ yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 2 rush. I was gonna go 3 to be bold as fuck. Maybe I should. Should I go 3? What you think? Is that not? It's too modest, or is that bold? Because he had 10 carries for 30 yards, nothing.
It's bold. I have to go back to my list on what I got the scores was gonna be. My winning, my list. So I'm gonna use this as my reference. That's pretty bold. Your 2 is bold.
Okay.
Yeah, your 3 is your. No, your 2 is bold. If you want to go 3, that's bodacious. Hey, go 3. That's bodacious. But I'm with you.
Oh, this is John's team, ain't it? We've been talking about we've been talking about this matchup with John for the last month. Honestly, John. You better be here tomorrow. You better be here talking about this game with us. Win, lose, or draw, man. We want you in the chat. You've been here with us for the last month or so talking about this matchup. I want you to be here for tomorrow's post-game show. I'm going, like I said, Swift, DeAndre Swift, 100 yards. I think the Bears going to make a point after what happened last week. Make a point to run that ball. I hope so. I'm going to be pissed, Wes. You know me. I'm going to be fucking pissed in the chat. I'm going to be talking shit in the chat if he comes out here and get 15 carries or 12 carries. I'm going to be pissed. 100 yards, 100+ yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. What's your bold prediction, Wes?
I'm going to go bold and obvious. But I'm going to go ahead and go with DJ Moore.
Okay.
DJ Moore. 10 catches. 165 yards.
Oh, my gosh.
2 touchdowns. 1 big play. 65+ yard catch.
Oh, my gosh.
And 50 of that's gonna be yak because I ain't get to drink no yak.
That hand in that yak.
Yeah, that shit still I ain't even blessed the bottle. It's still sitting out. I can't do nothing with it.
That hand in that yak.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, John, just don't be a pistol if you're gonna come in here with these comments.
I mean, show up. Pistol ain't
Show
even
up.
show up. That's
Didn't even
crazy.
show
He
up.
didn't show up. Damn, what?
But
Say that again.
I got DJ 10 catches, 165.
Golly. God, hey, that's
Two
bold as
touchdowns.
fuck.
2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna still keep my 17-14 Bears win.
The man said Texans by 20. Do you see Texans by 20? If the Bears even want to have a chance of winning, their defense needs to hold it down because 90-some passing yards from Williams isn't going to do it. First of all, hold on. Let me say this. You think y'all going to hold it? You're not holding us to 90. It's not going to happen. And if you do, I want you in the chat and gloating all show long. But that shit ain't going to happen again. It's not. I can guarantee you that because they had some dogs that y'all just don't got. Y'all just don't got. Danielle Hunter's nice and Will Anderson nice, but they not going to provide pressure up the A-gaps right in Caleb's face like the Tennessee Titans did. So, John, I appreciate that chat, and I hope to see you here tonight. That's bold, though, Wes.
Ooh.
That's bold as fuck, gang.
I think DJ. Look, I think I'm gonna have to tweet him and tell him some. I heard somebody in the Texans called him Dennison ain't gonna get nothing. You know he don't like that, so I'm gonna have to tweet him out.
What they say?
Oh, you ain't hear the interview. So I think he was on. I don't know if he was on Amara Ron St. Brown's podcast or something, but I think that big game he had with Justin Fields, he said he had scored a touchdown to somebody on the opposing team or someone was screaming. I think it was in Washington. I think they was in Washington that game.
Yeah.
And the fan was like, "That's all you getting, Dennison." And he looked at him and he said, "You better not never call me that again." And he said, "Whatever, Dennison." And then I think he had those. I think that what he had like 2 or 3 touchdowns, 200-something plus yards or something crazy like that. So I'm finna tweet DJ Moore and say, "Hey man, I heard somebody on Texas saying that Dennison ain't gonna show up today. Light some fire up under my man so he can go out there and give me 165."
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'll find a clip.
That is crazy.
It's funny.
I love that bold prediction though, because that's bold. I feel like I ain't bold enough. Is 100 modest? I know you said 2 touchdowns, but you know what I mean? I feel like I need to go higher after that. That's bold.
Like I said, Joe, 2 is bold, and I said I was basing yours just off my 17-14 prediction on May 18th. Is when I made my prediction. That's what I was basing on. That's what per mine. Like yours is pretty bold though. Like I said,
100 plus 2 touchdowns. I should go to 3. I should go. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this just to be bold because we talking about bold, not just hope. I'm gonna go 150 2 touchdowns. How about 150 2 touchdowns? I win 100. 152 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift. I think they make a point to run the ball this game. I think they have to, especially if you got banged up wide receivers. You can't keep running them dudes out there play after play. You know what I mean? And so John said 29 pass attempts for 93 yards and 15 rushing yards, 108 total, subtract, not 20, blah, blah, blah. Gives Caleb a total of 79 total yards for the game. Why do you keep talking about last game? We ain't talking about last game no more. We owned y'all. We being bold versus y'all. And let's end it with this, Wes. Game predictions. I know we gave them again, but we got a game under our belt. So we can, change it a little bit if you want, or, keep it the same. What is your game prediction? Score and who wins?
After watching both of them, I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna add a little bit more points. I had 17-14 in May. I'm gonna go 21-17. Bears still win.
Okay.
Because like I said, man, the Texans had 40 minutes and they scored 29 points. Like I said, 73 plays and you scored 29 points. You had the ball. Yeah, like I said, if we could knock 20 of those plays off, take 10 minutes off from them, Joe Mixon not getting 30 carries, stopping that, slowing that down. And like I said, CJ Stroud ain't threw no pick. If he gonna throw 32 passes, I don't know, man. You know them boys out there, JJ and Tyreek. You know those ball hawks. Yeah. See, Ricky always in my living room, man. I'm gonna invite you over for a beer, man. We need to hang out, man.
Ricky been on your side for sure.
Yeah, man. So I'm with you. I'm with it, something like that. So like I said, I'm gonna take 24-17.
24-17. Same score as last week, right? Or was it 21-17?
It was same score last week, 24-17. I'll go with that. We re-rock the score.
I'm going to go, I think I had this as a loss in May or whenever we did, and then the other with Al, other schedule release with Al. I'm gonna give us the win here. Because what I saw. The defense, they pissed me off in the first half, but it was only really 2 drives. It was only really 2 drives out of the entire game that they got a little tired and a little winded and gave up some points. You got 24-17. I'll go with Ricky, actually. I like this score. 27-20, because I respect that offense over there. I think they're gonna put up some numbers. And we don't got the pass rush to act. We got a decent pass rush, better than I thought we would coming into the season, West. But I think CJ is like that, and I think Stephon Diggs and Tank and Nico, I think they're good. So I'm going 20-27. Bears win for sure. And John just trying to, but 20-27 Bears win. And I don't think we pick CJ off. If he turned the ball over, we're gonna have to make him fumble. You know what I mean? I don't think he gonna throw no picks. So that's my prediction for this game. Wes, any other thoughts, comments, or concerns on this game before we get up out of here?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm solid.
Got it all off your chest.
Got it all myself. So I took my notes. I got John down here in my notes.
Please let me put John. Make sure John shows up. Man, let me put that in my notes. John better show up, because some dudes talking junk in the chat and ain't showing up when they team lose, and that's kind of weird to me. So he said Texas is gonna run the ball into the Bears, can stop them. CJ does all the damage thrown in the red zone, but Mixon going to control the game rushing. I know that's what y'all think gonna happen, but I hopefully the Bears and Eric Washington and Matt Eberflus is ready for that. So look, Destin, he said,
he came in.
Hey, you ain't too late, because we're gonna be here tomorrow night after that game. So come jump in the chat, a little bit. And definitely, it's always FGB. FGB all season long, all fucking season long. Look, appreciate y'all tuning in to the Black Bear Podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Got my guy Chef West in the building. To the right of me, Devin had to jump out, but we gonna be here tomorrow night after this primetime game, one of 3 for the Bears so far. So it's gonna be exciting. I hope y'all got y'all popcorn ready, because we gonna be here giving y'all our analysis. No holds barred. Y'all know how we do it here. Appreciate y'all for jumping in. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday night. We gone.
We gone.
Peace out.